Welcome back to Tennis Manager, episode number 24. Since the end of the last episode, Uni's already gone and claimed another Tier 3 victory, her 6th. On 8 tries for this calendar year, 9 tries over the last 12 months. She's 5 for 8 in that lower tier over the last 12 months. And 0 for 1 in that upper tier, but it was a quarterfinal. So I do feel like Uni's current track record suggests that it's about time we bump her up into that third tier more regularly, which is exactly what I've done. Fourth tier more regularly, which is what I've done in upcoming scheduling. There's still a little bit of third tier, but it's mostly going to go into fourth tier. Those aren't played every week, so it makes it a little bit harder to find them as we move forward, as it's kind of a intermediary. But at 71-7 over the last 12 months, and now inside the top 100, Uni is going to now start qualifying for Grand Slams and has qualified for the US Open, where she'll play here pretty soon. It's already mid-August as we are flying through this season. Finances have been climbing steadily since we made a big investment in March. But you can see throughout the year how we have gained and gained and gained. Well, with the big influx of cash that will come at the beginning of December, on top of $213K that we have now, well, I've already looked into what could I do, and realistically, the next places you would want to go is Business Center and further increase your monthly income so you can have money more quickly, but also getting into the Youth and Scouting Center and getting, in particular, the bonuses for progression for youth and juniors. So there's 1, there is 2, there are 3 of those that will all provide that. Now, the Youth Academy itself is the one for the basis for potential for the Academy, and we are getting phenomenal potential right now. So we don't even really need to push that one up, and it's only a 2% bonus, where the 3% bonus comes from the management structure or the campus. And campus comes not only with that 3% bonus, but it's going to come with extra income and extra expenses for that matter. I mean, half of that goes into expenses, meaning we're really only going to increase our profit by about $5K a month. But because of the bonus, and I'll come back to that one in a second, that is the next main upgrade that I want to make. We're going to make some extra money and get a 3% bonus to progression. $590K, so we do need to sit on our finances for a little while so we can afford that one. And the reason why I want to sit on our finances for a little bit and wait for that progression bonus in particular is going to be quite simple. Here's my vision going forward. I think I've made a decision on where and what, and Kotov being gone already really makes this straightforward, really makes this a simple approach. Tanawe, who's exhausted right now because she just, it's Monday. She just had her qualifiers, and she did win the first qualifier this week, but lost the second qualifier. So again, we are seeing a little more success with the coach that she's now working with, back with Kissel. It's helping her a little, but she still hasn't secured a point. So competitive, yes, but scoring points, no. Making any real money, no. Tanawe's contract is set to expire. Ooh, no, it's not set to expire, but one way or another, we will let her go. We will fire her soon enough. She will not be sticking around for next year. But Uni will. Uni is a money maker. She's making us $11K every 3 weeks right now, or even every 2 weeks, and we're about to move her up. She's going to be at the US Open on this next tournament. First round, probably going to exit from that first round, but we will 100% enjoy the huge financial plus of participating in a slam. Menicella, of course, is our player of the future and just developing at an insane pace. So we're going to build around those two, but then we're also going to build around Naskadashvili. And I need to change those names. I can edit that. I need to edit that. But also Ignatieva, both of those, and another early bloomer to help us out, and top player in Mataraz. So the addition of those three, along with our core two, will give us 5. And I think I'm not going to worry about what's in the youth academy after that, unless it's just in addition to. I think those core 5 are going to be the priority going forward. We will build around those 5, see if we can reach that potential, see if we can get them. It's a minimum potential after all anyway, but see if we can reach that potential and push along. We know that Mataras is going to get a little bit of an advantage as an early bloomer, and be very similar to how Menachella is just trucking along. And in the case of Menachella, that means with these incoming players that I may want to train Mataras for a while next year myself because of the early bloomer status. We can really get that physical and mental up early on, and then we're going to have to grow the facilities around these 5, build around these 5. We know as late bloomers it's going to take a little bit longer for the other 2. They have incredible potential, but it's going to take a little bit longer. But we saw from Kotov, gosh, I need to go back and check what Kotov was. Was he also an early bloomer? Whatever the case may be, we know that we can push mental and physical quickly, early, like we did with Uni, especially as an early bloomer. And so we want to take those early bloomers and get that advantage and get those training years. But I kind of want to stick to this core group and not just see a yearly turnover of like, oh, somebody's lagging behind. Oh, you're dropped from the team. Because here comes another early bloomer who's going to do better. The early bloomers make such a big difference, though. I think we need to at least hang on to those 2 longer-term players. Let it play out. Let them develop and see if they become, the world champions, number 1 in the world that they seem to have the potential to be. And adding a top player, somebody who can be top 30, that's really good, especially when you add in the early bloomer part. But I definitely think the goal is to stick with that core group of 5. And anything in future years from the academy are going to come with that caveat of growth, addition, no replacements. That, of course, also depends on being able to keep their signature and keep them on the team. Not always a guarantee. Amazingly, Menachella just got his first ever bye, and not even as a seeded player, just in the draw. Nice little draw there. In the second round, we will play the 7 seed, somebody who's ranked a little bit above us, and a spot that we weren't too far away from not long ago, but moving up to that higher tier has just about kind of dropped our point total. But we come away victorious here to move on to the quarterfinals. Unranked, but still very similar to the ranking of the other and still above us is our quarterfinal opponent. We are outsider, but we were outsider in the last one, but it's not enough here. We do lose in this quarterfinal 2-6, 6-4, 4-6. Very close. We're getting there. Winners is starting to catch up on others as I have trained technically here recently. We're starting to make less errors. Surprised we actually lost this one on balance. 49%. We were 6 points behind. Winners was only 1 behind. Unforced errors, massive advantage, plus 20, but forced errors, massive disadvantage, minus 25. And being that it's already August, the group stage for the Junior World Cup is coming up really soon. Manachella's not ready yet. He's barely cracking the top 30 at the youth level. It's his first year. Give him a little time. But we also graduated the 2 elite players who were leading and easily won us the World Cup a year ago, and suddenly we have some depth where we're going to have 5 2-star players, and we will select each of those 5, but that does make it a little tougher. 4 of them are playing at senior level this year primarily. Amazingly, one of them's only 16, a couple 17-year-olds, so they'll stick around. We'll have a chance, but this is going to be a much tougher year. And based on growth rate, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Menachella is in the group come next season. Tanawe has qualified for her next tournament, so again, doing a little bit better with the assistance of a coach. For the 3rd time in, 6-7 tournaments, maybe 8, Menachella is drawn against the 2 seed. Specifically, the 2 seed. Not other, but that one in particular. Very unusual, especially when we are so close to being seeded ourselves, but we're not. We belong in these tournaments, right? We're getting 1-2 wins on average, but we are continually getting a hard draw, and we are the outsider here. Can we get out of the first round for the second time out of the 3 opportunities we have? We've been outdone on winners, but we've kept it much, much cleaner. Half of the unforced errors comparatively, double the forced errors, but a much smaller number of those happening. Really surprised that we've actually managed to come away here. Plus 3 points is all it was. It was very tight and tiebreaker in the end. And Uni at the US Open has won the first round, so she'll at least play in a second round. Huge increase in terms of the income that'll come out of that. And with that 2 seed out of the way, the path is good to make the semis, but obviously ranking doesn't make a big difference. Everybody's pretty close, and Menechella is constantly the slight outsider here. Close enough to be balanced, close enough to get a win, but more often than not, or maybe 50-50 wise, we're going to end up losing, as we do here, 3-6, 3-6. Neither one could hit a winner for the life of them. -2 on unforced errors, but the forced errors is where we got beat pretty badly. Pretty badly? What's that? What sort of word is that? Badly. -16 in that department, and -16 in total points. Uni out in the second round in 3 sets, so she put up a good fight, but I don't think that's going to hurt her at all. She's going to be pretty happy with that one. And checking in, breaking it down. What do we got? 92,000 Academy share, which is already dropped by 4%, right? It's down to 56. She might want another decrease following that one. I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to keep more of her finances. That's a nice payday right there. Already up over 300K and about to turn the month, so we're going to get another 30 or so. Tanaway is pushing through her tournament. She just won the semis. Oh my gosh, with a coach. Tanaway has found form and wins her first level tournament. She's going to score a bunch of points. Oh my goodness. She raises 284 spots in the rankings to 1,006. She's destroyed physical condition wise because she had to come through qualifiers and then win into the tournament. But the form is excellent for all 3 of them, actually. Menechella suffering from morale just a little bit. He feels like he should be doing better than he is, but he is slowly climbing up those rankings. Tanaway's first solid payday, 3,700. That'll pay for a couple months of that coach. I'm going to check and see if we can get her out of qualifiers now and get her into tournament proper. No, she still does not have the rank necessary. I believe when we went through Uni for this, Uni had to get up to about 950. Or was it 850? I think it was about 950 where you started qualifying for a tournament proper without having to go through the qualifiers. Now, for Tanaway, she just amassed a huge haul of points. 15 for that one tournament. 15 points from 0 all year, from only qualifying for the tournament proper twice and then losing them both. One of those, of course, was just 4 weeks ago. This has all happened more recently. The previous one was week 20 where that finally happened. That's a lot of tournaments. It's not that many tournaments really played this year. In fact, she's got to get to 20, right? She's got a long ways to go to get to 20. But to get to the 950-ish, it's not going to take very many more points. Looking back at the tournament that she just won, that's a qualifier. That doesn't count. That's a wild card. There's somebody at 1,000 that got in. There's somebody at 1,000 that got in. There's 973 got in. 942 got in. So at about 1,000, you can make it. It's just not a guarantee. You might get approved, you might not. In which case, I think we change up and we just try to apply. You might get it, you might not. Okay, so what I'm going to do for the short term here for Tanaway is I have unregistered 2 tournaments that were qualifiers. I'm going to register 4 tournaments back to back, which is tough on the physicality part. But as she may not have the rank necessary, I'm guessing she's not going to get into all 4. If she does, she's got a great chance to score those couple of points, push high enough, get where she needs to be to start qualifying for tournament regular. And now I'm starting to think of hanging on to Tanaue, who's finally breaking into that standard, or about to break into that standard. She's right there where her development's going to take off. And going not with a core of 5, but a core of 6. And we'll see. We'll see. Because if she can start making money, it's definitely worth it to keep her around. I feel like Uni can't be the only initial core athlete that we have, right? There's got to be, from the first 4 years of the playthrough, there's got to be one besides Uni. There's got to be a couple veteran players in the academy. I just feel like I need it. So I'd love to see Tanaue succeed. Tanaue, who hadn't even scored a point all year, finally makes one run and immediately asks for a reduction. We're going to say no. She's going to be pissed, but we're going to say no. Period review. Uni into the top 100. A lot of points scored to make that happen also. So it's pretty competitive at this stage in terms of points. But if we're starting to move up to another higher tier, if she's competitive at least, she doesn't have to win them, but if she's competitive at least, the accumulation of points will actually increase a little more rapidly. 200K in that period. That's that US Open effect. And a very good record, 11-1 over that stretch, that US Open second round loss being the only loss during the period. Tanaue, finally. Green, finally some positives. Points for the first time. Rank jumps by almost 300 spots. Actually earned some prize money as well and had a much better record. 10-2 in those 4 tournaments. She won twice? I'm a little confused on that one. Or should she just go through qualifiers this week? She didn't just go through qualifiers this week. I feel like I missed something. Manicella, more points for him as well. Just a tiny climb up the rankings, though. Better prize money. Worse win rate, actually, but more tournaments. And that brings me into the World Cup week here. Tanaue declined for the first one. So it's weird how... I bet you if we go looking into the tournament draw, there's going to be players, lots of players. Oh, that's the qualifier. That's the qualifying draw. Main draw. Cut off. We were the first one cut off. I don't know why it doesn't just put you into the qualifier if you and ask if you want to accept. We are the first one to miss out. The last one that makes it in, outside of a couple wild cards that were given out to, it's Brazil, so give it out to a couple local players. Yeah, Tanaue's 10-14 is her rank right now. So she was next. She was one spot off. I think we'll still be able to get it. We'll get there. We will get into at least one of the tournaments. Maybe. Well, we are into World Cup week, and it's group stage. We are Group 1. We have Spain, Serbia, and Slovenia. I'm guessing that Spain could give us a little bit of trouble. They have 3 juniors ranked in the top 11 and 2 more in the top 40. All 17-year-olds, but most of them not experienced. Only a couple of them have played before. Serbia, not going to be a threat. Only 1 in the top 200, and they're not in the top 100. Slovenia do have 2 players in the top 60 and 1 in that 100 range. The others are not a threat. So Spain could absolutely give us a real run for our money, and I think we'll have no problem beating the other 2 with the group we have. Now, as for the rankings of my group, junior rankings, all 5 are in the top 100. All 5 of them are. Even though 4 of them are already starting to compete at senior level, at least occasionally. But of this group, only one of them, Dassault, has ever competed for us and lost both times. I think that was when we did doubles in the group stage a year ago. I think he was one of the ones who made group stage and then did not make it to the finals. Tompkins made finals in his place, never competed because we won the singles, never had to play the doubles. So Tompkins has a title because he won it last year. So those were two of the members of last year's team. So as I select my distribution of points, as always, I'll put at least one into everything. It looks like we have a real problem with physical and form heading into this tournament, and we're going to need to help Sheldon and Santosh out a bit. So we're going to have to add an extra point to physical recovery. I'm not willing to go beyond 2, though. They will get whatever progression they get and get a little bit better off this week. But that'll get 3 of them up to 100%, and that'll get 2 of them decently recovered. Team chemistry is already excellent, so I guess we'll keep that at 1 point. And then we will focus on singles matches with 3 and 2 for the doubles matches. All right, so Tompkins, his form picks up to good. Santosh gets maxed out, while Sheldon, the one who was really exhausted, we got him up to 76%. So I think that was the perfect balance. 1 more point, that second point, making a massive difference for the team prep. Chemistry stayed fine, and then we should be fairly competitive for the singles and doubles, and I think we're still stronger than the others in our group, except for maybe Spain. Spain might... I don't think we're going to be favorites this year. It's going to be a difficult year to take victory. So we open against Serbia, and with a couple more days, Sheldon's actually even further recovered, up to 92% now. He's the one who is still just in juniors. He must have just won whatever tournament he was competing in last week. Let's give him the day off. So we're going to go with Santosh and Tompkins for the 2 singles matches in this one. We should be winning. We need to be winning these matches. This is our... If you're going to get through group stage, Slovenia is the one you need to beat, because we're going to have 1 easy match. We're going to have 1 tough match. And this is the very winnable match to make sure you're top 2. But without Benicella here, this is not a massive priority for me. This is secondary. Santosh has the 5 on the chemistry. These guys are 1-1 all time. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into it, see how they do. Lose the first game, but come right back and win all the points. We have a chance to break them here, but we drop that game. We came really close. We're easily winning our serve games. We do break him there. Yeah, our serve games were dominating. It's the opportunity to break that's been a little bit harder, and we're up 5-3, and there we go. We win the first set 6-3, start strong in the second set, taking the first 3 games, and it looks like we are going to win this singles match. 6-3, 6-1. Not totally comfortable in the first set, but very comfortable in the second set, and that is already 1 to the good. Let's just go ahead and skip to results. I'm at the end of the episode here. We will only get through this first group stage match, but that is a loss. So Tompkins has lost, minus 41 in winners for him, plus 30 in the unforced errors, but only plus 3 in the forced errors. Huge serve advantage. Not sure how he managed to lose this thing, really. Oh, well, yeah, winners. Massive gap in the winners. Kept it clean, but just couldn't find winners either. So we are 1-1. This is now going to matter for the doubles. So let's go ahead and pull Sheldon, who is now up to 100%. I was planning on keeping him rested for round number 2, but we're going to have to use him. Dassault is in better form than Hans. So let's see. 4 stars? Okay. Fast approach. They lose the first game, but they draw level at 1-1, then go up 2-1, 3-2. Not looking great so far. Down 3-5, down 3-6. That's the first set lost. Strong start to the second set, winning the first 3 games. Up 4-1. Should draw level here. 5-2. Yes. Maybe. There it is. 6-3. Okay, so they head to the decisive third set. All level. We'll intervene here at some point if we need to. Ready to hit on that court view. A very long game there, but can't come away winners. And now move ahead 5-3. And that's it. They come from behind after losing the first set to win sets 2 and 3. All 3 sets with a 6 games for the victor and 3 games for the loser outcome. But that is That is group stage number 1 in our favor. It's Spain next. That's the one where you can lose and still move through. But of course, we would certainly like to win because I'm fairly confident that we're going to take the other with Serbia. Yeah, Serbia just got pummeled by Spain. Spain was perfect, winning all 3 matches. Only +6 on sets, though, so they didn't have that big of an advantage. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.